Hey folks, David Watts here with a brand new video for the brand new Luminar 2018. I think you'll really like the new product. I've been playing with it a bit. I was able to get a brand new early release kind of copy. It is version 1.0, but so it is the production release. I think you'll really enjoy what you're seeing. That's sort of the quick summary of this video, by the way. I think you're going to like it. I certainly am, and I think you will too. By the way, I try to make videos the way I think I like them. I don't have a lot of fluff. I just try to get right to it. If you're looking for some quick perspectives, some quick hints and tips, I hope you like the videos. If you do, subscribe. I'll keep making more, and hope you like this. And by the way, I'll include a link if you'd like to check out Luminar. You can click on the link, and it lets them know that I sent you their direction. I am an affiliate now for Luminar, but I try to retain my objectivity. That's more important to me than a few dollars here and there. So let's be objective, and we'll keep it real. So anyway, I thought what we do in this video is just show some of the new things. I'll probably make several videos showing some of the new features, but here's a quick highlight of some of the new things in Luminar 2018. So one of the first things, let's do this. I'm going to open up some videos from a recent shoot I did down in the Brooklyn area, close to New York City. It's specifically called DUMBO, which stands for Down Under the Manhattan Bridge Overpass, if you've ever been down there. And I'm just navigating to the right picture, by the way. Here we go. And what I'm loading is a raw file from my Fuji X-T2. So they're pretty big files. And the first thing I noticed, I loaded the same file in 2018 and the same file in 2017. And I'm seeing a significant speed increase. So from like 36 seconds to load in 2017 down to around 26 seconds or thereabouts, maybe 27 seconds. So significant. I didn't do the math, but 20% improvement or something of that sort. Let me tell you quickly what I'm running, if my computer will agree. It doesn't want to actually do that at the same time, I guess. But I'm running a pretty standard MacBook Retina. 8 gig of memory, and let's pull that up real quick. And you can see exactly, full disclosure, what I'm running. So it's a late 2013 actually, so it's getting a little older by now, but 2.4 gigahertz, 8 gig of RAM. So not the latest speed demon, but pretty reasonable load for a big size raw, for a big raw file. So anyway, here's from this photo shoot. By the way, it's a fantastic location. I need to make a video just explaining to folks some suggestions. Go here, go here. You can get this angle here, and I'll see if I can put that together at some point in the future. But if you get a chance, go to DUMBO, do some photography there at nighttime. That's the best. Drop me a note if you want more details. Anyway, I think you'll like, first of all, a nice clean layout. It's cleaner than the previous version, and it is faster, and I like the results I'm getting. So by the way, if we were to zoom in real quick at 100%, a lot of us talk about raw capabilities with Fuji files. It's kind of a source, or it's a subject that people have disagreements on, and am I getting the best results from Adobe or from this or that? I like what I'm seeing. I'm not a huge pixel peeper. All I know is I think it looks pretty sharp. Obviously, it depends on how well the picture was taken as well, but the results I get, I like. So I won't go all scientific on, the raw processing engine. I understand it is a new engine, but anyway, I like what I get, and it's faster. So that's all good. Beyond that, I haven't rebuilt my favorite workspace, but one of the ways to start is just with the essentials, which is pretty good way to start. I always tend to set my white balance and then usually use the accent AI filter. But I just wanted to point out a little different look and feel, a little smaller, more compact. I like it. Get a little more on the screen. I have closed up, by the way, the bottom row of some of the presets. I usually don't use those so much. So this gives me the maximum screen for what I want to accomplish. So a couple of things, Boost or the accent AI filter still seems to do a really nice job. I've always liked what it does, and I find the speed again to be a little bit better than it was in the past. One of and we're focused really on differences here. One of the things you don't see is On the right side of the previous version, there were other tools like for denoise. Well, now denoise is a filter itself. And one of the things I like about that, we'll just sort of pause our editing here. Let's add a layer, add a new adjustment layer, and we'll come down here, and you notice the filters are categorized now, which I think can be helpful. And you can actually still search for them if you just know part of the word. But let's bring up the denoise filter. So now it's its own filter. We'll close the panel for a little more screen space. And so I like this for a couple of reasons. Number one, now I have a little more control. Now maybe we'll miss the whole light, moderate, strong, etc. settings, but I like what I see here. Of course, for any noise reduction, it's going to be much better to do this zoomed in at 100%. This may not be the best image for that because I was in a very stable environment. I used a relatively low ISO. You can actually see that now in the upper right corner, ISO 400. Not a lot of noise in this, so this won't be the best example, but you've got luminosity and color controls and a boost sort of control as well. The beauty of this, a couple of things, is that now as a, being that I can add it as a separate layer and I can control it a little more, I can paint that layer in. If I had specific areas of a picture that needed some noise reduction and I wanted to leave other areas alone, I could paint that in with the use of the brush, which is right here. And I could say I want to brush it in just in this area, for example. Don't need to do that in this case, but that gives me a little more control. One of the things you'll notice if we go back to the image itself, and I do like the fact that it shows it now as essentially the base image, the raw, or the base layer, if you will, the raw image itself. All of the filters now can be brushed in individually. So previously we could brush in layers, but now we can brush in each of these individually. So let's see if we can just make kind of a simple example. One of the things I sometimes find is that I want a little more vibrance in the water and the reflections. So let's just see what happens. If we boost this up a bit, and this might be too much, but we're just trying to illustrate it. And you might say right away, okay, maybe the water is good, but I don't like the extra boost in here for vibrance or in the city lights. So I can just brush it in now. And so let's just brush it in here in the water. And that works quite nicely. And I'm not being real careful, and you can obviously be more careful about how you do this. You can go to the upper left corner and see where you're brushing it in. So that helps. And maybe likewise, you said, I kind of liked it in some of the city lights, so brush it in a little bit up here. And so that's a nice feature. And if you remember, if you're coming from the old Aperture product that Apple had, that was always kind of a nice feature, the ability to brush in those adjustments. Again, I'm doing it real quick and not being real careful, but that's nice. So each of these now can be brushed in pretty easily. We can add a little more clarity, for example. But in general, I find it to be faster and I think easier to work with. So those are a couple of quick improvements I see. Oh, by the way, the things like the crop tool are up here on the top menu now. So if we need to do a little straightening or cropping, and by the way, the whole thing here just seems to run a little quicker than what we saw before in the previous version. We might want to hold to our original aspect ratio. Just do a little bit of straightening. Might use the spire of Freedom Tower as a bit of a guide. We might close this up just a little bit. And that should suffice. So everything just seems to move along a little better. And again, as is typical with Luminar, I think you can get really great results really quickly and without a lot of trouble and fuss. So I hope that helps as a super fast first introduction of a few new things. I'll have some other videos showing some new stuff, but I like what I see. I like the direction the product is going. Really look forward because in 2018 we're supposed to see some digital asset management come along. that'll be fantastic. For me, then that will complete the journey to replace Aperture, because what I liked about Aperture, I could manage all my files. And I had some decent tools to work with those files. And now I think we're finally getting back to that, where we have good digital asset management, easy, powerful photo editing to make some nice results. So I hope that helps as a super fast introduction. A lot more we can say, a lot more we will say, but that'll suffice for now, I think. Thanks, and have a good day.